So we've been talking about the origins of human consciousness, that complex sense of self-awareness that defines the human experience, that voice in your head that lets you know that you exist. And one of the most interesting theories to account for the origins of this complex phenomenon is the idea of the Gödelian loop. The Gödelian loop basically says that brains are media, hard drives, that store patterns that mirror the external world of which those brains themselves are a part of. In other words, the internal model of the external world includes the observer making the observation, and it is in this inevitable vortex of self-mirroring that a real causal I, a sense of self, a sentient mind emerges, is birthed into being. It's like plugging a video camera into the TV and then aiming the camera at the TV. The recursive loop that is formed extends itself ad infinitum. And of course, this points to the idea that the more self-referentially rich a mind is, the more self-aware it becomes. That's why some of us are tuned into the broadcast of the ego and others are tuned into the broadcast of the whole. That's why there exists concepts like Buddha consciousness. That's why some of us are awake and others of us are asleep. That's why there's biblical proverbs that say, whereas once I was blind, now I can see. And I think when we become aware of the cybernetic feedback loops that describe the whole, baseline reality dissolves and a new reality emerges in its pixelating wake. Much more beautiful and much more satisfying.